So everyone had a bone to pick with the Love is Blind reunion. Rightfully so, because Vanessa is not a great host. That said, I have a completely different bone to pick with the reunion. If you hearing people think that it was unwatchable for you all, imagine how unwatchable it was for any deaf person that wanted to watch it, especially live. Now, I don't think it ever ended up being live, but the beginning stages of it being uploaded onto Netflix, basically the captions on this reunion were so bad. So bad. Now, if I recall correctly, they never ended up making the reunion live because of all the streaming technical difficulties that they had. So they were just going to run through it, film it as if it was just, you know, the original way that they were going about things before, and then they were uploading it. But the captions looked as if it was broadcasted live to begin with. And I think I know why that happened, because they had the captioner. They had a live captioner ready to go for the broadcast, the live broadcast. And so they just used that captioner for that original upload. And you can tell because it has the little dash marks and then it just goes as if it's a live broadcast. Not like if you're watching Catfish, you know, which is pre-recorded and edited and uploaded, but as if you're watching like a football game or something, or a news broadcast. You can see the difference between live captions and pre-recorded, already pre-uploaded captions. And by golly, Miss Molly, these were terrible. These were probably some of the worst live broadcast, but also not live broadcast captions I've ever seen. I remember Brett's name being misspelled and just wonky words, wonky spellings, wonky formatting everywhere. Even for something that's supposed to be live captions. You know how sign language interpreters usually like to ask the client, hey, do you have a list of names that you're going to be mentioning? Do you just have, you know, stuff that you can give me? Like if it's your presentation, can you tell me what your presentation is going to be about? Give me names. Do you have an actual script for your presentation so I can study it? If they're going to be interpreting songs, they're going to ask for the song lyrics and the songs ahead of time. Now, because it's a live reunion, you're not going to ask for, hey, can you tell me everything that's going to be said? Because it's live, it's off the cuff, right? But did nobody give these captioners like a list of everyone's names so that it could be typed? Well, now of course if it's a stenography machine, things are a little bit different than taking a regular keyboard and then typing things out. Stenography will come with mistakes from time to time, misspelled names, misspelled words. But again, by golly, Miss Molly, this made it so difficult to navigate through. And after 2 serious minutes of me trying to get through the reunion, I wiped my hands and went off, and I thought, you know what, I'm not gonna watch the reunion. And to be honest, that seemed to be like the smart decision regardless of being deaf or hearing and captions or no captions, because the reunion seemed to be so bad. I watched some clips off Twitter and, you know, watched some review reaction videos on YouTube of the reunion, and wow, okay. But I am happy to announce that it's been almost a week maybe since the reunion, and if you were to go back now, Netflix cleaned everything up. You are no longer going to be watching the live broadcast captions. Everything is cleaned up. It looks like the traditional captions as if you were watching a previous Love is Blind episode, right? Names are in brackets, names are spelled right so far that I've seen. Everything is already laid out for you to read easily, so you are not dealing with this wonky whatever. So, you know, if you have been wanting to watch the reunion, go for it. You can't now, because I promise you it's going to be so much easier to read through the captions than what it was the day after it aired. And with all that being said, I think that just goes to show that Netflix should not be doing any live streaming anymore, especially for something like Love is Blind. That was probably the most anticipated event ever. Totally crashed the website. There were so many different issues going on with it. But yeah, if you're gonna have a live captioner, definitely do a test run, but also just don't do live streaming anymore, because it's really, really bad. Like, you know, it's not regular TV, so something about streaming on the internet just makes it so much more complicated. With that all being said, though, I think something else to bring up is, could we please not have Vanessa be a host anymore? That's it. That's all I gotta say on it, which is what everyone else has been saying, but I'd like to chime in on that as well. So that's just a small video on that, because somebody did bring it up in the comments of a previous video, just talking about how the captions on the Love is Blind reunion were so bad, and I was like, they're terrible. And then I just looked this morning because I was curious to see if they changed it, and lo and behold, they changed it. So I want to pass that information on to you, because I believe in accessibility, obviously. So there you go. Regardless of whether you like the show or not, or whether I like the show or not, it's important to know that the captions now are much more accessible than what they were before. But yeah, for more captions talk, you know, feel free to like this video, give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate that. That engagement helps get the word out. Let me know down below in the comments if you did watch the reunion. What did you think about it? If you'd like to support the work that I do, all the captioning, advocacy work that I do all day, every day, there is a Patreon that I have had for years, and you can get exclusive extra content. So I'll have that link down below. For as low as $1 a month, you get so much stuff, and you get to help me out in exchange. So I think that works out pretty well. There is also a super chat thing down here in the video player, YouTube's tip jar, basically. So if you don't want to use Patreon, you just want to leave a one-time thing, that also helps. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads about captions and stuff, because I do every once in a while help you make your videos more accessible, whether they're on YouTube or on Netflix or TV. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I very much appreciate it, and I will see you later.